What's up everybody, this is Tostemac and welcome to another autism vlog. Today for this topic we actually have a request from someone by the name of, Liz Mitchells. She writes, I have high functioning autism. Sometimes people say you don't look autistic. Maybe something along the lines of why it's challenging to diagnose high functioning autism. Thank you Liz Mitchells. This is a rather interesting topic to go over because while the signs for autism may be more apparent for some of the lower levels of autism or lower functionings, when you're talking about high functioning levels like Asperger's syndrome and whatnot, the signs aren't always that apparent. I mean, heck, whenever I'm out in the public and I tell people I have autism, a lot of people get shocked like, what? You have autism? You don't look like someone who has autism. Man, could have fooled me. And so on and so forth. So the big question for this vlog is, why is it so difficult to diagnose someone with high functioning level of autism? Well, the thing is, whenever you go to a medical expert or a medical professional, whatever, to figure out whether or not a kid or an adult has high functioning level of autism and whatnot, they need to run certain tests and look for signs to indicate whether or not the person in question has autism. These signs include, but not limited to, difficulty with understanding body language, difficulty with social skills or maintaining friends, sometimes feeling overstimulated from a lot of verbal communications, picky diets, or lack of concern with personal hygienes and whatnot, and sometimes repetitive actions, or maybe a lot of pacing, and trouble with eye contact, that's probably a big one. And this is just all to name a few, a very few in fact. Now it does seem like a nice and easy process going down a list of things to look for and go oh, this person has autism. Oh, this person does not have autism. But unfortunately, diagnosing someone with high functioning autism is not that easy. And there are three big reasons as to why. The first and foremost reason is that each person with autism is an individual. Therefore, each individual with autism will behave or function differently than the other person. What may apply to one individual with autism might not apply to the other one. Some progress faster, some progress slower, some do well in big crowds, others do not. Some people do this, some people do that, you get the idea. The second thing is that with autism comes some great gifts, be it either increased intellect or some other gift or whatnot. And what some experts may unfortunately do is focus so much on the strengths of the individual, what they have, that they won't run any further tests. They won't look past the strong points of that individual, which could lead to a wrong diagnosis. What do I mean by that? Well, let's give an example, shall we? Let's say I put a little Kirby right here. You may not notice him as much compared to me because of the fact that the Kirby is so small. But let's say I try something like this. Now the Kirby in question is so big that it's really hard to notice me. Maybe you can see my hands over here, but aside from that, not much else. Alright, thanks Kirby. I said thanks, Kirby. The third and final reason, which leads from the second one, is that in order to get an accurate diagnosis, you need to find out the individual's weakness. You need to find out where they could be more vulnerable or have a lot more difficulties with. With me, I was able to problem solve a lot faster than some other people might, but I've always had issues with dealing with a bunch of strangers or people I don't know, or dealing with big crowds and whatnot, or understanding body language or how to communicate with people. Those were my biggest weaknesses right there. Well, at least back then, I hope. Now, some people may be tempted to ask, if it's so difficult to get a diagnosis on whether or not someone has a high functioning level of autism, why bother? I mean, they seem so similar compared to a normal person. What's the point of getting a diagnosis? Should I really worry about that? Actually, I think you should. not just because of getting a sense of closure on whether or not the individual in question has autism, but also there may be a lot of benefits that you may be missing out on. There are plenty of organizations out there that can help with either financial aid or help finding the right school or the right job. And there are definitely plenty of speech therapists that can help individuals with autism progress to the point where they need to be in order to adapt to normal society. I mean, take me for example. I'm currently 24 years old. I have a bachelor's degree from a university and a full-time job. But I don't think I ever would have gotten to that point if it weren't for the fact that I had all those speech therapists to help me out, the special education aides to guide me through things during school, or a bunch of other advantages I may have gotten because of the fact that I've gotten the diagnosis with autism. Now some of you may be thinking, oh, but I don't want to be a burden to everyone. I don't want to be asking for constant help on a regular basis for me or my individual with autism. And I don't want them thinking like, oh, this guy's asking for so much help, he's such a pain. Guys, listen to me. When it comes to dealing with autism, be it either high functioning or low functioning, take all the help you can get. A little help here will go a long way in the future. As my dad mentioned a while back in one of the other autism vlogs, early intervention is key. The earlier you can get the diagnosis for autism and the sooner that you can get all the things necessary to help that individual with autism progress to where he or she needs to be, the better off that individual will be. So the bottom line is, whenever you are dealing with whether or not an individual has autism, be it high functioning or low functioning, if you notice something, talk to somebody about it, because a little help now can go a long way in the future. Thank you very much for taking time to listen to this autism vlog, and thank you to Miss Liz Mitchells for help bringing up the topic. If you like what you saw, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And if you have any ideas for what topics you want me to go over for autism, leave that in the comments area too. Leave the comments in the area too. Well, it's about over, so I can make all the mistakes I want. So, thank you very much for watching this video, and until the next video, see you later.